everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Abby and I am a specialist in the United States Army. As I promised, today is a red phase video. So if you haven't already, check out my reception experience video so you can really know what's gonna happen the second that you get on a plane and go to basic training. First, let me say, I'm a single soldier that lives in the barracks, and therefore there are a lot of noises that happened here, and there's not a lot of great lighting. I've had a very busy day today, so if this lighting changes, I'm sorry. But I spent a lot of time going through some letters, just a few that I sent to my boyfriend during basic training. And let me just say, if you're gonna be one of those people that are like, you shouldn't be writing letters during basic training, you should be training, then you can just excuse yourself from my video, because writing letters is such a wonderful way to escape from the very stressful present that you are experiencing while you're in basic training. If you don't want to spend energy writing letters home, you don't have to do that. And I'm really glad now that I have all of these letters to look back on, because I can tell my story and help those that are about to head off to basic training. With that said, I went through this stack of letters that is basically the month of October, and I tried to put it in the best order that I could. Luckily, I dated a lot of things, so I pretty much have every day of red phase accounted for, so I'm gonna go ahead and share that with you. So on your last day of reception, you should be sorted into your platoons. Let me explain the structure of basic training. So you're gonna go to a battalion, and the battalion encompasses many companies. So you are going to ship to your company, and within your company are 4 platoons. 4 platoons is all that I've seen in a company. So you're gonna be sorted into your platoon within your company, and usually the people that you're with at reception, you'll all go to the same company. So when you get sorted into your platoon, you're gonna get your patch for your arm, and then also some corresponding tape to go onto your duffel bag. This lighting is terrible. I just got my MacBook and I really want to edit a nice video, and it's just really not happening. I guess if I sit back here, I can continue telling my story. I promise I'll get a ring light or something. Okay, thank you for bearing with me. Okay, so you're gonna get sorted into your platoon. We went over that. Arm patch, tape. So the day comes that we're gonna ship out. We wake up, we have breakfast, we go sit on our duffel bags, and then we have our laundry bag also. We're gonna load our duffel bags up onto a truck. That's how they're getting to basic, and then you're gonna carry your laundry bag. So you load up onto the buses, and of course, that classic drill sergeant comes on, yells at you to put your head down in your laundry bag, and you do that. And it's like a 10 or 15 minute ride till you actually get to basic training. So I shipped to 260th Infantry Regiment Battalion, something like that. And let me just say, 260th, great times were had. But it's kind of the jankiest battalion. The whole area was under construction basically the whole time we were there, and I never saw anything get completed. We park, and a drill sergeant comes on the bus, yells at us to get off the bus. So you're running with your laundry bag down this sidewalk, but on both sides of me were just like crumbling cement and dirt. None of it was finished. It was very strange. There are drill sergeants motioning which way to go, and so we're running with our laundry bag, and this is where you really need to know what platoon you're in. You would think it's a simple thing to look at signs and identify 1, 2, 3, or 4 and then go to that direction, but it's very difficult for some people. So if you are supposed to be in 4th platoon and you go to 3rd platoon by accident, that drill sergeant doesn't want you in 3rd platoon, and they're gonna make a big deal about it, and then they're gonna tell your real drill sergeant in 4th platoon that they don't want to be in 4th platoon, and then your drill sergeant in 4th platoon, he's gonna be upset with you. And if it's a she, she's gonna be very upset with you. So big lesson here throughout basic training, situational awareness. So this is obviously the shark attack. I'm sure you've seen videos of this. I watched many videos before I left for basic training with the soldiers with their duffel bags holding them above their head for however long, and then they'd have to put them on the ground in a certain way, and then the drill sergeant would throw them away and they'd have to go get it and come back. And that didn't happen to us. Since we were running with our laundry bags, all we did was we got to our platoon lines and we had to hold our laundry bags and then do high knees. That probably lasted for, I don't know, 7 or 8 minutes, and then because you're doing that while people are still filing off the buses. Also, working out in your uniform for the first time. And those boots that they issue you are so heavy. It's not fun. But it's not that terrible. So my company ended up being the strictest in our battalion from what I heard from everyone else at my AIT class. So considering we got smoked the most and our drill sergeants were the most high speed, that shark attack really wasn't that bad. So after the smoking, however long that happened, or the correctional training is what they call it, I remember we ate an MRE super fast. I wrote to Dave about my MRE. I got the hash brown one, and that one is so good. If for some reason you are in the army already and watching this video, comment down below what your favorite MRE is. Mine is chicken chunk because it's the most like real food. And it comes with Reese's Pieces. During this time that we're on the platoon lines eating our MREs and whatnot, we finished that, and then we stood there for a while, and I'm pretty sure the drill sergeants kind of just introduced themselves. And then this was the part where we were quizzed on the Soldier's Creed a bunch, and our female drill sergeant was the one that was pointing people out about it, and I knew what she was doing. So she would pick someone out, and they would start saying the Soldier's Creed, and hopefully they knew it. Most people did not know it, but even if they were doing well, she would start screaming, "Why don't you sound off? Why don't you sound off?" the whole time that they were trying to say it. And so once she said that, they would stop, and then she would keep yelling, "Why don't you sound off?" So came my time. I stood up, I started saying the Soldier's Creed, she started saying, "Why don't you sound off?" And I just kept going. And then she left me alone. And then after this, we were kind of done at the platoon lines. We took all of our stuff to our PT field, which again, for our company was so janky. It was so rocky and full of potholes, and it was literally a hill. And that's how we learned our PT drills. And that's where we did our first equipment layout. So again, you get Ziploc bags in reception, so make sure that all your stuff is super organized. It'll make it really easy for this equipment layout. Don't lose things from reception to day 0. Then the rest of day 0 was spent in our platoon bay, which for us was our boys' bay, and then all of the females were in one bay. So we all went to the 4th Platoon boys' bay, and our drill sergeants, again, just started telling us some stuff about them and how things are gonna work, yada, yada, yada. And by the time the day was over and it was time for the females to go to our female bay so we could, you know, go to bed, we were of course the last group of females to get into our bay. So our company was made up of 220 people, and there were 65 females, which just so happens to be the exact number of beds that are in one bay. So that was good because a lot of females means an easier fire guard roster. But it was bad because we were the last group to get into the bay, therefore the last ones assigned a bed. And your girl just happened to be assigned the only single bunk in the room, which was okay. But that single bunk used to be deemed the suicide watch bunk, so it was in the very front of the room, pretty much at the fire guard desk. So it was okay because I didn't have to share my space with anyone, but I was right up in everyone's business all the time. So all night long when I heard people switching shifts on fire guard or whatever, I was there for it. Lucky I'm a good sleeper. Now we're on to day 1. So your first week of red phase is gonna be a ton of classroom briefs, and you are exhausted right off the bat, so you better not fall asleep in these briefs, because if they catch you, it's not good news. So day 1, I have written a lot of briefs, and then also learning PT drills. So you're gonna learn how to do all the things. very slowly and then do them all together. And again, we did this all on our lovely hill of a PT field. Day 2, we did our 1 mile run assessment, and this is also where I realized that the cold was going to be a really big issue for me in South Carolina. You think South Carolina is not going to be that cold, like maybe 60s, I don't know, but it was so cold, and our company would not let us wear our winter PTs. We would wear shorts and our long sleeves if we were lucky. Sometimes we would wear our jackets, but we never pulled out our pants until at least November. Day 3, we learned more PT drills. So this is conditioning drill 1. We learned 4 for the core, the climbing drills. I hate the climbing drills. But you'll learn what all of these are, or if you want to be a super overachiever, you could easily Google them or YouTube them, and there are videos of all of these drills and everything, so you know what's coming. We also did 30-60s for the first time this day. So your basic schedule for PT is going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday run days, and then Tuesday, Thursdays will be conditioning drill days. Day 3 is also when we got our CIF issue, so that means more equipment, more stuff to carry around. It's great. And then this is where we also met our chaplain. So each battalion will have a chaplain, and our chaplain just happened to be the pastor for the big Protestant service that happened on Fort Jackson. So it was really cool to be able to work with him one-on-one, like as a company, and then also get to go and hear him preach on Sundays. And his messages were always really great and of course applicable to a stressful situation, soldier in basic training. Day 4, I have written more classes, and when I say classes, there are things about the Army in general, like the programs that the Army has to offer. We got like a nutrition class, stuff about needing proper sleep, which we weren't getting. Anything you can imagine, you get a class and a brief on it before anything happened. Day 4, we were already getting punished for something wrong happening in the bay. So again, in my reception video, I talk about what fire guard is. So typically it's just a battle buddy pair, so 2 people. Something wrong happened. I don't even know if it was my platoon or in our bay or what, but the female bay got punished. So our fire guard pairs went up to 6 people on fire guard for 1 shift. So that meant instead of me having fire guard like every 4 days, I had it every other day, or sometimes every night, considering where I was on the rotation. So that was fun. That lasted for a while. Day 5, we took our first APFT. So I mentioned we took a 1 mile assessment. So they use that assessment to sort you into lanes. And obviously lane 1, super high speed kiddos with really good run times, and they get to be at the first lane. It's a really nice demeaning way of putting you in lane 1 or putting you in lane 14 like I was. So we took our first APFT. I don't know what's happening with the APFT, ACFT right now. I don't think anyone does, so I'm not going to talk about it here. But if you're going to basic training sometime soon, I would say make sure that you can pass both tests. Then came up our first Sunday, and this Sunday I actually decided to go to the Hispanic Protestant church because I was told by my sponsor, who is here now at Fort Bliss, but we were kind of just like virtual friends before this, to go to the Hispanic Protestant service because they have a cool like text messaging service. I don't speak Spanish, I wish I could, so I didn't end up going back after this one time because having that time of worship on Sunday was really important to me. But they have this cool thing where you can write a little message and then put in a person's name and number, and they will send that message to them, and then that person has the opportunity to write back to you, and then they'll post their message back to you on the board so you can go back the next week and view it. I also sent some mail from the Hispanic church because I heard that they hold your mail till the end of red phase. I don't think that's true. You could probably just drop your mail in the mailbox that's in your company area. I don't really think it works any faster from the church because the church is still on post, and so all of the mail that's collected on post goes into the same pot and then it goes out into the world. So your second week of red phase is really where you do all the cool stuff. So this week was like boom, 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 doing all the big things. And I'm sorry about the light. But you're not here for the lighting, you're here for the information. So day 7 is where we did Fit to Win. Fit to Win is your first kind of obstacle course that you do as a platoon, and it was a lot of fun. So you're gonna go through the obstacle course, and the drill sergeants will demonstrate how each obstacle is supposed to be maneuvered, and then once you get through it, you go through it as a platoon. Super easy. There was a lot of things in there that were really scary, but like looking back on them now, they're very baby scary obstacles. Fit to Win was basically jumping over logs, crawling under some barbed wire. You do Jacob's ladder here, which is a net ladder. I've heard other things called Jacob's ladder, but I'm pretty sure this is Jacob's ladder, and it's just a net ladder, and then you have to flip yourself over the top and then crawl down a little bit and then fall off of it. So that was a lot of fun. And then there's some doorways to kind of hop through, and there were monkey bars, which I was the only female in our platoon that did the monkey bars, so that was pretty awesome. And then at the end there's a big wall that you have to get over, and obviously you need the help of your teammates for that. So this was a point where our platoon really started to come together, and it was a lot of fun. I'll just scoot back here because the sun can't make up its mind. I should also mention quickly that this is the day that we got our first MORE meal, which stands for military something ration something. It's basically like an awesome snack pack, and there's like 3 versions of it. One of them, you get a First Strike bar and some M&Ms and peanut M&Ms or something like that. And they're just full of caffeine and sugar and carbs, and they're so great. Fit to Win Day was a very full day, full of team building, because we did the actual obstacle course, then we had lunch, which was an MRE, and then we had to do some specific team building activities. So there's the one that you see in a lot of videos where you have these pegs and you have to use boards to transfer some, like a box of ammunition from one side of this sand pit to the other, so you have to move the planks and stuff. It's very cool, and you can find videos of it online. Then we also had to do this challenge where you're over a gorge, it's a tire pit, and there are 2 platforms on either end and a cable connecting them, and you have a casualty, so you have to get the casualty across, and then you also have to start transferring all of your team across. And I think our drill sergeants were low-key proud of us, but no one accomplished the entire task by the time it was done. But we were ahead of the other team, because there's 2 sets of platforms, so your platoon and another platoon are kind of going head to head to see who can finish first. Day 8, I don't have anything written down. I'm guessing we did more classroom stuff. Next day, day 9, we went to Victory Tower. Hi guys, editing Abby here, and I just have to say, I talked so much crap about how janky my battalion was, but this video is pretty janky too. So we're already at 17 minutes here, and I just introduced the first event, and I'm gonna go ahead and save the other 3 big events, which are the gas chamber, Vic Tower, and the confidence course, for the second part of the video. So if you're not already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can see my videos pop up in your feed, and then you can even turn on the notification bell to know when I post my next video, so you can know all about all of Red Phase. And if you made it this far in the video, thank you very much. Please let me know what your favorite movie on Netflix has been. Okay, I will talk to you next time. Thank you so much for being here. Bye, guys.